Hey everybody, welcome back to the Puck Drops here, and this is the third episode of Game Center. It is November 11th, 2019. We have had a bunch of games last night in the National Hockey League that were excellent and did not go the way I expected, but were thrilling and ended up playing well and doing really well. We have two games coming up tonight. Today, well, obviously, this is in the beginning of the morning. This is at right after midnight. But we will discuss the standings of the scores of last night's games and do two predictions of the two games on Monday. Last night we had the Florida Panthers, who entered at eight a no 7-4-5 record in New York City in Madison Square Garden against the Rangers. I predicted Florida to win. They did. 6-5 in a shootout. Trocheck the game winner. Florida extended to 8-4-5, and the Rangers dropped to 7-6-2. The Dallas Stars went to Winnipeg, and this was another game that had an overtime. Dallas at 8-8-2 and at 8, oh, they were 8-8-1, and the Winnipeg Jets at 10-7-1. And Winnipeg, who had an early lead, but then Dallas took it right back, and the Jets came into the third period late and tied it. They won it 15 seconds into overtime with a goal by Mark Scheifele that downed the Stars and brought the Jets to 10-7-1 right back into the Central Division. The New Jersey Devils, who were desperate for a win, I told you needed one against Vancouver, and they won it 2-1. The game-winning goal by Jesper Bratt. The Devils extend to 5-7-4 after winning in Vancouver, and the Canucks dropped to 9-6-3, and now they are in dire need of a victory. In Little Caesars Arena, we had a matinee between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Detroit Red Wings. Detroit was coming in trying to get their second straight victory that they would achieve with a goal by Anthony Mantha, his second game winner of the season and second in less than a minute. Anthony Mantha, with 30 seconds left, scored the game winner where it was looking like it was going to go to sudden death overtime, and the Detroit Red Wings extended to 6-12-1. Vegas to dropped to 9-7-3. Detroit has now, with that regulation win, only been in one overtime game this playoff year, one that they also did not win, lost to St. Louis. But two straight wins for Detroit, they're starting to gain more traction and identity. Chicago beat the Toronto Maple Leafs 5-4. In Chicago, after they were up 4-0 at one point and 4-1. Toronto dropped to 9-6-4, and Chicago held the Maple Leafs finally for the first time in 5 games without a point, and the Blackhawks rose to 6-7-4. The Philadelphia Flyers, for the second straight game, won in a shootout in Boston. In a game they were up 2-0. The Bruins came back to tie it 2-2, and the Bruins dropped to 11-3-3, and the Flyers to 10-5-2 win in the shootout. The nightcap in Anaheim, I thought the Ducks were going to have some jump against the team that they dominate, especially in the Honda Center. They did not. The Oilers had the jump. Edmonton all over the Ducks from the opening faceoff with a 6-2 thumping, and the Edmonton Oilers Hockey Club extends to 12-5-2, and the Anaheim Ducks to 9-8-2. So we look at the standings currently now. As we go through divisions, I was in wild card. We'll go through divisions, makes it a little easier to understand. In the Metropolitan Division, the Capitals are in first place at 13-2-3, owning 29 points for the best record in the National Hockey League. The Islanders are closely behind, trailing by 4 points, 12-3-1, 25 points. Third, the Flyers have jumped to third, 10-5-2 with 22 points, only 3 points behind the New York Islanders. Behind them are the Pittsburgh Penguins with 21 points, 10-6-1. Behind them are the Carolina Hurricanes with 19 points, 9-7-1. 3 points behind them is the 6th place in the Metropolitan Division, 7-6-2, are the New York Rangers. Columbus Blue Jackets at 6-8-3 have 15 points. And the New Jersey Devils at 5-7-4 have 14 points for 8th and last in the Metropolitan Division. In the Atlantic Division, the Boston Bruins are 11-3-3 with 25 points. Right behind them are the Toronto Maple Leafs, 9-6-4, owning 22 points. Montreal, the Canadiens, are 9-5-3 with 21 points, third in the Atlantic Division. The Florida Panthers are 8-4-5, also with 21 points. Fifth in the division are the Sabres, 9-6-2 with 20 points. Sixth in the division, 2 points behind them, although they beat them twice. 8-5-2 with 18 points are the Tampa Bay Lightning. And 6-9-1 are the Ottawa Senators, who have 13 points. And the team with the worst record in the Eastern Conference, in dead last place of the Atlantic Division with 6-12-1, are the 13-point Detroit Red Wings. In the Western Conference, St. Louis is 12-3-3 with 27 points, owning the best record in the Western Conference and the second best record in hockey. Behind them are the Colorado Avalanche, 10-5-2 with 22 points. In third place are the Nashville Predators, 9-5-3 and 21 points. The Winnipeg Jets are 10-7-1 with 21 points. In fourth place. In fifth place are the Dallas Stars, 8-8-2, 18 points. The Chicago Blackhawks are 6-7-4 with 16 points. And the Minnesota Wild are 6-10-1 with 13 points. The Oilers lead the Pacific Division 12-5-2 with 26 points. Trailing them are the Calgary Flames, 10-7-3 with 23 points. Still in third place are the Canucks, 9-6-3 with 21 points, but they need a win close because Vegas, 9-7-3 with 21 points, is behind them. And the Golden Knights, if they went to overtime, would have overtaken the Canucks for third in the Pacific Division. Behind them in fifth place with 20 points, 9-6-2, are the Arizona Coyotes. Sixth in the division are the Ducks, 9-8-1 with 19 points. 7-10-1 due to the ugly start for the Sharks, 15 points. And with the worst record in the National Hockey League at 5-11-1 and only 11 measly points are the Los Angeles Kings. So that's that again for standings. 2 games tonight coming up are the Arizona Coyotes in Washington, the Richard Panik Bowl. The Coyotes, which I explained, in the middle of the Pacific Division. And the Capitals with the best record in the National Hockey League, 13-2-3. The Coyotes will come and win this one, 3-2 in overtime, with the game-winning goal being scored by Clayton Keller. The point leader for Arizona is Nick Schmaltz, so he's been doing great off the injury, but it's going to be Clayton Keller. Ottawa and Carolina rematch. The Hurricanes will take this 5-0 over an inferior Ottawa Senators squad. Game-winning goal will be scored by Jake Gardner for Carolina. That's a 7 o'clock puck drop. Both are 7 o'clock puck drops, so about around 10 hockey will already be over tomorrow. Not a very busy day and coming up, but it's always busy around the National Hockey League. We'll see what goes around as we get ready for a busy Tuesday around the National Hockey League through these 2 Monday night games. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this as I enjoyed making it. Episode 3 of Game Center and the puck drops here. This is Peter Fivefoot saying so long and happy hockey.